Up until now, I've been using the TX16S as my favorite radio. I love this radio, but there is one thing that I have a little bit of issues with, and it's the fact that whenever I get the radio in the bag, these switches that are on the top here, they're gonna hit the bag, and you know, it's not a big thing, but it's very easy to break them. So when the Boxer came out without those switches on the top, because the Boxer only has these round corners with momentary switches there, I thought it was a very good idea, and I wanted to test it. I got one Boxer, and I've been liking it quite a lot. I've been using it for a while now, but then the only thing that was missing from this problem that I was saying is the fact that when the Boxer comes originally, it comes with an antenna like this one, which causes the same issue. Whenever I get the Boxer in my bag, I'm gonna be hitting this antenna, which is quite hard, and it bothers me a little bit. So I saw on the internet some people doing some mods and getting the antenna inside of the radio, and I thought, why not? Let me try to do something and see what I can get. So the first step was to get into Fusion 360 to design something that I wanted. I got a couple of ideas, but I stood with one where I could try to get the antenna as flat as possible to the top of the radio, so it didn't bother anything else when I'm putting it, and it will be safe against any kind of heat or anything like that. Of course, then after doing the design, and I was happy with this design, I started to print it. I did a few tests, I did some modifications, and if you look at it, this design that I'm doing right now, that I'm selecting right now, it's very specific for an antenna that is the Happy model antenna. The reason why I chose this antenna is because it's the lowest profile of all the 2.4 antennas that I could find around there, which means that I could do this new 3D printed part as flat as possible, and it will be kind of like invisible for many people. The process to install this new part is quite easy if you think about it, but you have to be very careful. When you open the Boxer, you're gonna see there is a UFL connector on top of the model. This is the ExpressLRS model, and you're gonna see that the module has a UFL connector. From factory, it comes with some glue that holds the antenna and this UFL connector. Whenever you're going to disassemble these, you have to warm up the glue so it's soft, peel it, and then remove the antenna. If you don't do that, you have a risk of breaking the antenna, as it happened to me. Even though I warm up the glue, the antenna connector just came out when I was trying to unplug the antenna. So be careful here, because I had to do kind of like big surgery on the radio to bring it back to life. But once this is done, you just remove the antenna adapter that is in there, the UFL to RP SMA. I don't know why Radiomaster is selecting RP SMA, but you remove that, and now you can just install your new antenna with the new part that I designed, and close the radio, and you will see how easy and how nice this mod or modification looks in the radio. A couple of things to have in mind is that I'm printing all the parts in TPU because I want the flexibility to be able to push the antenna into the TPU itself, like that it bites and hold everything in place. And the second thing is that if you see, I'm doing two parts here, and the main reason for that is how you print this. If I would choose to do only one part, I will have to have the top of the new part that I'm building flat on the printer, and that will create that I need to have everything flat unless I have like supports, and it's not gonna be nice. Doing this in 2 parts, I can assemble everything, and since it's TPU, everything is going to bite to each other, getting very, very hard and very stable in place. And as you see, now I have my radio with this very small antenna. If I need to access the USB port, I can just flip it a little bit or rotate it a little bit, and I have it in there. This way I can throw this into the bag without being worried of anything. And of course, you're gonna wonder, is the range or penetration affected by this modification? You're changing a long antenna by a very small antenna, and you're putting it partially inside the radio. But I have done a few tests. I haven't done like extensive tests with this, and what I've seen is that things are still quite fine. I took one of my long-range drones using 25 milliwatts of power on the transmitter, and I can still reach a good distance without having to worry about the receiver. So far it looks very nice. It looks like it's working. Again, what I like the most is that now the radio looks very nicely, like there is nothing that is going to bother or break if I'm moving things around in my bag. And it's quite simple as long as you think about to be careful with that UFL connector, which could be pretty delicate if you don't treat it correctly. I hope you like this video. Thank you for watching. See you soon.